Welcome to Still Waters, episode 15. No power. Why did I title it like that? Well, if you didn't know, Omaha, Elkhorn, Papillion, Bellevue. Let's see. Let's look at my United States map. Let's see. Where is Georgia at? I remember someone told me that place sucks. Don't sue me, Georgia. Well, anyway, Nebraska. You look at your United States map. You can see that right in the middle of this bad boy, in between North Dakota and Kansas City, is Nebraska. And to the right, we got Iowa. Bottom right, we got Missouri. Left side, we got Colorado, Wyoming. So there you go. There's your meme. Or should I say it's 3 states above Texas. 2 states, Oklahoma. Why did I say that? Hopefully you didn't click off after that. But I say this to make this point. So we had a storm, and it was like 80-mile-an-hour winds. Wild. Literally ripped off stop signs, ripped off everything that can be ripped off. Trees. It was awesome. Makes me wonder, like, why do they plant the trees there if you know they can get ripped off like that? City codes aside, that's a conspiracy. They plant the trees so they get torn down. No power. A lot of people were saying over the week, it happened around, I believe it happened, what day did this happen at? I want to say it was last month. I'll say July the 27th, probably, was when or was it Friday? Whatever. The last week of July. And all hell broke loose. And why am I taking the time to say this is because everyone's talking about how they didn't have power. We don't have power. We don't have AC. We don't have this. We don't have that. I don't have Wi-Fi. I can't charge my phone. And it dawned on me, you don't have power. You just don't have electricity. That doesn't mean you don't have power. Why am I taking the time to talk about this? Because it's a current event? More like a revelation. I want you to recognize that what do you have when you lose something? You have to begin to recognize, what do you have when you lose something that you thought you need? In this case, for us, it's electricity, but we still have power. I remember someone was walking around with a candle. You know? It makes me think, like, man, it's really easy to get soft these days. I don't have AC. I don't have. Those are inconveniences for sure, but that doesn't mean we don't have power. There are still things within our control that we can execute. But I guess you can take that even deeper and say, oh my goodness, we don't just have electricity. We haven't had power in a long time in our own lives. I think I might just combine this as one, but I remember there's a phrase that someone said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. We are products of our habits. Or should I say we are slaves of our habits and our thinking. I won't forget how, when I was talking to someone, it's almost like the Twilight Zone, really. I was talking to this chick, and she was going on and on about why things don't work and why this and oh, I'm tired. Had like a reason after reason after reason why her life was backwards. It made me think, like, how easy is it to go down that path of thinking? There's another talk where a psychologist was saying that if our brains don't have a vision, there's a Bible verse, without vision the people perish. If your brain doesn't have a good way of articulating where it's supposed to go, it will actually master failure. Crazy is that? Your brain at a subconscious level, or should I say, there's another phrase for this. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Self fulfilling prophecy. What you tell yourself over and over and over again will pretty much tell your brain, like, that's what we need to strive for. Because your brain is like, it's a machine. It doesn't care what you put into it, it's going to push out what you put into it. That's just how it works. It's like the most awesome supercomputer. Here's another factoid you can latch onto. Okay, what about when you notice your car? We notice things that we attach value to. So you'll notice your car. For example, let's say your car is a Nissan Sentra Silver, right? You will notice that you can notice it in a parking lot. Why? Because it'd be pretty important for you to remember, hey, this is the car I'm looking for. Now, isn't it interesting that when you're driving down on the street, you're like, oh, wow, now everyone's driving Nissan Sentras like me. They're copying my car. No. Your brain is now focused on the car because that's what's important to remember. Consequently, that's how it works for I guess you can say law of attraction, but reality of it is that's how your brain works. Your brain is designed to focus on that's my ring. Focus on the things that you want to pay attention to that are valuable because it's important for you to notice that. Okay, if that's true for your freaking car, it's true for basically everything. If you value the negative, your brain's going to focus on the negative. It's crazy, man. If you want to go down, it'll go down. If you want to go up, it'll go up. We are what we continually think about. As another phrase, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your thoughts will determine your actions. Now, why did I title this No Power? Because I believe we have put too much stock on conveniences of that nature. Now, you could argue, well, Andre, no power. That's a legitimate statement. Like, come on now. Like, that you guys literally have no power. More specifically, we don't have electricity. Well, Andre, this is semantics. Listen, I notice when people say that, no power, it's almost like their brains don't work. It was as if, like, they never have been through a scenario like this. How many times have we been without power? How many times have you been without XYZ? And here's the thing about humanity is that we endure, we survive, we keep going. And that's the beauty and quite frankly our greatest strength is regardless of the inconveniences, we still have power. And we are empowered to figure it out. I wonder, is that the fan going into this? That's so weird to me. I wonder if it's just picking up on that. Huh. Oh well. Squirrel. Why I took the time to give this one out? Because it gave me I want you to remember that you still have power. Don't allow the things and circumstances to convince you that life is beyond your control. Are there things beyond your control? Oh yeah, there are things beyond your control. But there are still things within your control. You still have power. Don't get confused and think, oh, well, I don't have power. I can't do anything, so I should just go further down in my degradation of despair, right? Start recognizing the things you can't go. We didn't have electricity, but bless God, someone had a candle. Someone had a book. I can't watch things on YouTube. I'll read a book. Andre didn't have power. How can I listen to this thing? People figure it out. It was crazy to me to witness that. I think that was the best blessing of all. How when we're in those situations, people get really creative. Human beings tend to get they're very resilient, and that's the word I want you to focus on. You gotta be resilient because the reality of it is life sucks. Life gets hard. Life is doing what life does. It's weeding out weakness. If you are weak, it's going to eviscerate you. That's just what it does. Which begs the next question. If life is just going to do what it does, which is just perpetually beating you to make the strong survive, etc., weed out the weakness, why does life do that? I have no idea. If you want to get your own planet, as Jim Rose says, and set up your own rules, fantastic. But as we are currently where we're at right now, this is where we're at. you have to be resilient. That's the only way forward. You can't hope for things to get better. You can only become stronger. That's the only option. It was great to see that. So, nothing really profound on this one, but just want you to think on that. When you lose stuff, you lose electricity, inconveniences happen, what do? Do you use those things as a reason why your life sucks? Or are you going to use those things as the catalyst to be stronger, to be better? People always say, like, oh, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. Well, what do you got going for you to, in spite of that? Yeah, I don't got power, but I'll read this book. No power, but I'll figure this out. And there's a certain pride that comes with that, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you don't have that going for you and you still get the job done, there's something to be said about that. So, other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. If this helped you out, like all the other videos, hey, share it. I'm not saying this to get popular, but if you have someone in mind that just needs an encouraging word, and you just happen to find this, well, that's awesome. Help them out. Or if you master the class and you want to regurgitate the information to them, hey, bless God, do that too. I'm all for it. Give them what they need. So, because it's been given to you. With that, you have a blessed day. Bye.